All right, hello everyone. Welcome to today's matchup of the SM multi-category extension tournament. We got a good one for you today between PapaSchmo and Thorneto. I am Applejack. The category they will be racing today is GT Max Percent. Basically, how we got here is in the first round. I think PapaSchmo vetoed. No, sorry, Thorneto vetoed all bosses. PapaSchmo picked North Korea percent. Thorneto won that match 108 to 111. Bit of a redemption for both of them in that category. And today we had a veto of North Nintendo Power Percent by PapaSchmo, and Tornado picked GT Max. So it should be a good race. And we are just getting started now. So basically, the point of this category is to get the highest percentage possible in the game, which is 135%. The way we're going to do that is we are going to pick up the minimum amount of minor items before we get to the GT code, which gives us a set amount of missiles, super missiles, power bombs, and gives us every major item in the game besides screw attack. So the way the counting in the game works is basically for the major items, you either have it or you don't. So you can pick up as many major items as you want before getting the GT code. But to get 135%, basically you can only pick up 0 E-tanks, 1 missile, 1 super, 1 power bomb, because those are required to get to the GT code area. So it starts off with a bunch of low percent. There's a couple ways of doing the lava dive. I suspect both of these guys will be doing Crate for Varia, getting speed booster to be able to skip the moat missile, and then killing Fantoon. We also need some, because we can't pick up an energy tank. Basically, Varia is the only way across the bowling alley besides a really difficult horizontal bomb jump. So fully expect both our runners to do that method. But yeah, it's pretty much a low percent category up until that GT code, and then it turns into kind of a hundo type of run where you have every movement item in the game, and then you just have to go around collecting the rest of the minor items. So we get to skip some annoying things like spring ball and stuff because it just gets us. We just get that with the GT code. So pretty interesting category. Definitely the longest category in this tournament. Should be around just under an hour and a half. Both the runners get through series and getting onto the planet. So, like, pretty much all categories, this very early part is going to be pretty standard, just coming down to get more fall. Thorneto's showing off a couple nice moonfalls here, as well as PapaSchmo. This is the moonfall that's definitely going to save the most amount of time in the entire game. So coming into this match, let's see what their PBs, at least for seeding, was. Thorneto had a 131. PapaSchmo looks like he had a 135. So that, I mean, in the grand scheme of things, that's actually pretty close. Being such a long category, there's a lot of room for error. This is also one of the 2 like upset specials, I would say, in this this tournament. This in North Korea. Before you get to that GT code, there's a lot of things that can cause you to either just die or have to reset. The Fantoon fight is going to be done with just Varia and 5 missiles. It's a very difficult fight. If Fantoon just doesn't give you the right drops, he can just outright kill you. You can just make an input mistake on bowling alley, that'll kill you. Of course, you got the green gate glitch. You can only carry 5 supers into that, so that's another reset point. And then you could just mess up putting in the GT code and have to reset on that too. So there's a lot of reset points in the first like 20 minutes here, and then after that, it's going to be very, very safe. So Thorneto here with a very tiny lead going into climb, but like I said, really until we get to that GT code point, we'll have a much better idea, kind of like the overall kind of like texture of this race. Yeah, seeing two different climb methods there. Thorneto going with the wall jumps, PapaSchmo going with the what is commonly known as like the behemoth climb, just climbing up right the middle there. Pretty close overall, if you do both optimally. So it's really just kind of your choice of what you want to do. Moving into the Bomb Teresa fight, kind of probably the most underrated fight. Very difficult fight to actually get a nice one round on. Also going to be kind of dependent on what drops you get off of. They're doing a very good job spreading out those missiles. Did take a little bit of damage, but still managed to finish off in one round. And yeah, you can see PapaSchmo doing what generally will lead to a 2-round. It's just those missiles being too clumped together. Oh, and it gets no luck on the second one. No missile drops at all. Has to do the P shot to finish the fight off. PapaSchmo going back a little bit there for missiles. Not really necessary. If you did just go through Terminator here, you can just pick up a missile from that first guy if you're at full health. And you can see there Thorneto jumping over the Terminator tank. One of the other reset points in this category. If you just forget to skip Terminator, that's pretty much a GG for the category. Moving on to Green Brinstar. We will be grabbing our one and only super pack before the GT code here. Again, pretty standard. Thorneto for a very nice D-boost. That's a really tricky D-boost because that waiver that you D-boost off of is on a global timer when you come into the room, so your movement all the way up to that point has to be very, very clean. See PapaSchmo there just opting to go for a morph ball out of the wall jumps. A little bit of a safer strat. D-boost is only going to save you like 10 to 20 frames. It's not a very big deal. And you can see there, Thorneto skipping the charge missiles. Again, we can't pick up any other missiles. The only reason we have to pick up the missiles in the supers to begin with is it's just a hard requirement to even progress in the game. You need the first missiles to get 2 Bomb Chorizo, and you need the supers to not only get through this door, but a couple other doors we're coming up on. And we'll also need to be getting the power bombs early as well. So for a little bit, it's going to look kind of like a standard KPDR, just with very, very low ammo. Even managing your ammo count going into Kraid in this category is a little awkward. Even compared to like a GT code, normally you just go get the alpha power bombs already. So there's like a little power bomb strat you could do in the pirate room. You don't really have any access to that whatsoever. So we'll see how these guys handle that room. Yeah, PapaSchmo kojacking a missile right there. Definitely not something you want to do in this category. PapaSchmo's going up. That's is interesting. That may mean he's trying one of the more difficult ways of getting to the GT code. Because if you're just getting Speed Booster and coming back, you'll get this on the way to Fantoon. Yeah, the fastest way to do this is you don't even get gravity suit. You do the lava dive with high jump boots. You can't do like the traditional way of you've normally seen it, where you kind of jump off the left Namahe and up, because you just don't have enough health to do it. You can't have any additional E-tanks to meet the 135% requirement. So it requires a really tricky like wall jump off of the first Namahe on the right, and then you can kind of get up to the top. Very difficult to do, but like if that route saves like 8 minutes, so it's a very significant time save if you can pull it off first try. Meanwhile, Thorneto through his crate quick kill, just going to be moving. Again, what I assume is just going to be going over grabbing Speed Booster. Speed Booster is the easiest way to get over the moat missile. PapaSchmo is electing to get the Spazer here. Like I said, you can grab as many major items as you want early because, like I said, you either have them or you don't. It doesn't matter. So this is just going to be a little safety for whatever he has planned. Make some of these upcoming rooms a little bit easier. Ooh, Thorneto missed killing the Sova there. We'll have to kill it on the way up to get the door open. So Thorneto filling up a little health before going through Cathedral here. And yeah, with this, it's pretty much confirming what his plan is to get the speed booster, go up, kill Fantoon, and then come down and do the gravity jump into Lower Norfair. Yeah, Thorneto kind of showing off why this category is pretty dangerous early. Not having any E-tanks whatsoever is pretty rough through this early stage. Unfortunately, PapaSchmo missing his Kraid quick kill. Again, having no additional E-tanks, even he'll have to be a little careful here. Has 59 health though, so shouldn't be too bad. All right, so I'm keeping an eye on PapaSchmo here, seeing where he's planning on. Well, I guess even if he goes to Cathedral, it's not really guaranteed he's going for the high jump. But like, I don't know why else he'd get those power bombs if that's not his plan. There is another route that saves a good bit of time where you horizontal bomb jump over the moat and you just skip this whole speed booster section. But if you're going to do that, you still wouldn't bother getting those power bombs because you'd kill Kraid and then just go straight up. Yeah, I don't quite buy that he got confused because, you know, running a tournament of this, so you would be... I mean, unless you got completely confused of a completely different category, but like this in North Korea have such bizarre openings, generally you're not going to make a big route mistake like that. So very well could just be, you know, I mean, it's one trick that you have to learn. Like it doesn't really matter your overall skill level at the game to do it. It's just, can you do this one thing? And like the inputs on it are very precise, but if you sat down and practiced it, you know, it really doesn't matter what the rest of your overall skill level is. You can potentially pull it off. But you can like see, you can kind of just like eyeball how much it would save, because like Thorneto's still gonna have to go up, kill Phantoon, get the gravity suit, come all the way back down to Norfair. Theoretically, if PapaSchmo just does this trick, he's gonna be in Lower Norfair fairly quickly. I'm gonna have a pretty massive lead here. Alright, that's all easier said than done. I have never pulled off this trick. One of the reasons I'm not a big fan of this category in tournament, because if you just have an opponent who feels like going for this, they're going to get an 8-minute lead on you if they manage to pull it off. And that's pretty much the entire race, is just coming down to whether they do it or not. Okay, yeah, PapaSchmo is going to get Speed Booster. If you were going to do the lava dive, there's no reason for this. In fact, I think you'd have to take it off. Or okay, I no longer know what's going on. Oh, he just realized he didn't have enough ammo to open the door. Okay. Yeah, so it looks like it was just a mental error on getting that power bomb. Just thinking that you need it for some reason. But yeah, unfortunately, it's a pretty long deviation from the route. That's not really going to pay you back. He'll be able to go back through Bubble Mountain a little quicker. Like we saw Thorneto having to bomb down through it, but like it's nowhere near being worth it. So it's unfortunately giving a Thorneto a pretty big lead here, just from a mental mistake. There, and yeah, Thorneto sparking over top. Again, if you spark low and pick up that missile, that's pretty much going to be a reset. I think this is one of those situations where they would just add a minute to your time if you did end up picking it up. Like that missile's, well, I would say that missile doesn't help you, but even the 10 missile Phantoon fight is significantly easier than a 5 missile Phantoon fight, because you're just so dependent on Phantoon drops. Yeah, and another tricky thing, you don't have the health to spark across West Ocean. Generally, like if you see runners do this West Ocean segment in New Route, they don't have speed jump, they don't have high jump. It actually makes these jumps a lot easier to do. So this section is actually one of those places where it's actually pretty difficult, and if you're just kind of running it blind the first time, it's not one of the places you think you need to sit down and practice, but it turns out it actually is. Yeah, you can see how safe Thorneto's being with his health here coming into Phantoon. This is a Varia suit fight versus Varialist fight you'd see in like New Route, which helps. It helps way more than you think it does, because it halves the damage you're taking. Phantoon will drop big hells, which are equal to 20. So the main thing is every time you pick up 1 health in this fight, it gives you 1 additional hit. Whereas if you didn't have any suits, you need to give 2 of those drops to get 1 additional hit. So, like a 3-round in this is possible. It's very drop dependent. Basically, you need Fantoon to drop a bunch of missiles on those eye shots, and then put in your normal 2, pick those up, and then do a Doppler. So it's very just RNG dependent on what exactly Fantoon's going to give you, and it's like again like a normal new route fight. It's incredibly difficult. Like that, right there. Thorneto had the missiles on the screen, so he did the 2+2, grabbed the additional ones, and was able to do a Doppler into Fantoon. That's kind of what you want 3 times in a row, and you can finish off like a super standard. And there we go. Fantoon is down. Yeah, you can see here PapaSchmo just elected to turn off the speed and high jump. So this is going to be kind of like the new route movement you see through this. It's going to be a lot easier. Still kind of tricky. You have to know exactly where to jump and how to jump, but definitely a lot easier than with speed and high jump. You can see having much less problems. May even elect to keep those off through the Fantoon. Oh, nope, just going to turn right back on. Yeah, depending on what you're used to. If you're going to turn them off there, you might as well just keep them off for a while. Funny thing, even this part where Thorneto's going through this shaft is actually much easier without speed and high jump on. So honestly, if you're going to turn them off, I wouldn't mind just seeing them kept off until maybe you're going to attic, depending on what your strat is there. Thorneto taking this safe. We still have to get through Bowling Alley. It is possible to do with just 2 hits, which would be 60 damage. 3 hits would be 90. So if you have above 3, you're pretty safe. But there's still got pre-Bowling Alley he's got to get through, which isn't the easiest thing in the world either. Yeah, all of this is one of the reasons PapaSchmo kind of just elected to pick up Spazer here, because it's just going to help out a ton through all these rooms. All right, Thorneto getting through just 2 hits. That's very nicely done. Had the health to take third hit, so wasn't really in too much of danger there. And PapaSchmo is, I guess, forgetting this is not Nintendo Power Strat percent, doing some Nintendo Power Strats here on Fantoon. Alright, with that gravity suit, Thorneto's done most of the difficult stuff. The lava dive with gravity suit is gonna be pretty easy. So really all he's got left to get through is the green gate glitch, and then just not messing up the GT code, which isn't the most difficult thing, but it is not that difficult to actually mess up. Alright, so Thorneto heading back down to Norfair. Having speed boost and everything, just go straight through Frog Speedway. Has the 5 supers already. I'm trying to remember if you use any before you get there. I don't think you do, so it doesn't need to stop and farm. Breaks the tube right there. That's just a little trick for later on. Since next time we're coming through the tube, we're just going to be going straight up through Meridian. We don't need to run through the tube again. That'll just make it slightly more efficient when we come through the next time. So, being in Thorneto's position, I would assume we're going to see a save right after the lava dive. Lava dive's not that bad. I mean, it's pretty straightforward. You actually really can't afford to take too much damage before you get to it, though. And then you do have some rippers to deal with right before you get to the GT code. The GT code will also fill up your energy, so we'll be at exactly 800 health. Which is the only way to actually get exactly 800 health normally. It gives you like 7 E-tanks plus like 1 health for some reason. It puts it to a round number instead of just adding a set amount of E. Oh no! Is he gonna get hit by this flame? Oh. Whoa. Okay. Yeah, like I said, he cannot take damage from pretty much anything. Yeah, and didn't save at all up to this point, I don't think. So would have had to go all the way back to the beginning, giving you can see PapaSchmo would have about a 27-minute head start. Like I said, like this in North Korea are just there's just so many places for you to die from pretty easy mess ups, and all the deaths are going to be pretty devastatingly large, especially if you didn't save it at all. So did heal up back to full. Gonna have another try at it. Don't expect any problems this time. I mean, it's not hard. It's the thing in this game where all Thorneto did is he just missed an input on the wall jump, which you can do at any point in this game. And this is one of those categories that one of those missed inputs will just so happen to kill you. So he's very lucky to get out of that alive. Really heads up to put that gravity suit back on so quickly, too. All right, did take the save there though, so even he's got a couple missed. He's got a fair amount of missed attempts, honestly, at this before PapaSchmo catches up. And then once you get that GT code in, like I say, it's going to give us 7 E-tanks just right then and there. So it's going to be pretty safe from here on out. We're going to end with 21 energy tanks of health. And gets it second try. So really only one thing between Thorneto and having a very big lead going to the bulk of this category is just putting in this GT code correctly and not murder beaming, which is the other part you got to pay attention there. He's very smart. He goes to missiles there. And he gets the GT code. So, yeah, this gives you everything. It also equips Plasma and Spazer at the same time. So if you do shoot that, it's going to activate what we call Murder Beam, which ends up actually crashing the game in this situation. So by switching to missiles there, if he did continue to hold down the fire button, all he would end up doing is just shooting a missile. So pretty smart way of avoiding that there. So Thorneto is past the early low percent portion of this category, right around the 30-minute mark. And then possibly the dumbest thing you have to do in this category, since you do that GT code, you have to go all the way back around and get that missile. So you're so excited to get all your stuff, you're ready to play the rest of the game, and then you have to do the thing that normally is like the worst thing in like a hundo run, where you lose all of this time because you have to go around the world to get the missile. You just have to do that here because there's no other option. Oh, PapaSchmo taking some damage from this Namahe. He does not have enough health to do this. I think he's realizing that now, hopefully? Yeah, I assume he consulted his giant book of health number references to confirm he does not have enough health. He's going to have to come out, farm up some health, and try again. Yeah, it's just one of those categories, like, you know, if you have some experience in this game, you just go like, oh yeah, just kill Kraid, kill Fantoon, do the lava dive, and all that sounds pretty easy. But like, you're just so unused to doing it with such low health that there's like, you really need to have like it kind of practiced and have the inputs kind of exactly memorize what you're going to do. You can't just kind of wing it. Like normally you can kind of wing in this game because you have just enough health to deal with some situations, but you just have so little health here that it's not really an option. Thorneto going with the 5 super strat there to open that gate. Alright, PapaSchmo through his lava dive now. Also taking the safety save here. This is something potentially he could skip, realizing he's so far behind, trying to make up a little time. There's still a lot of game left. There's pretty much another hour of this just from this giant collectathon that we have to do. There's plenty of time to make it up through movement and everything. The main thing is there's really not any like single 5-minute mistake Thorneto can make besides Mother Brain, really. Like messing up stand-up or something like that. So a lot of runway to catch up, but there's just not one thing that can happen that will catch up this gap. And unfortunately, most of this gap is still from that just unnecessary collection of the power bombs. Oh, and PapaSchmo did not get the gate glitch first try, so that's going to be another time loss. So we've somehow managed to have both our runners pause their timers, so we're just not going to know what the time of the race is for the rest of this. Or it's just always going to be 7:04, I guess. Alright, Thorneto into his Ridley fight. You have 2 options here. You can either just do a full beam fight, or you can opt to use a bunch of supers here. Generally, a lot of times, like in a plasma plus super Ridley fight, like you're probably going to excuse me, Turian next. So you're a little bit concerned about supers there for Metroids and Mother Brain and all that. Here, we have so much of the game left, we're going to be picking up so many more supers. It really doesn't matter, so if you want to go ahead and just use those supers, you can. Thorneto just opting to stick with the beam fight. It's really not that much slower. Honestly, making the super fight faster is non-trivial. You need a little practice with it as well. Meanwhile, it looks like PapaSchmo got through his GT code as well. So he is into the quote-unquote safe portion of this run. Oh, PapaSchmo got the super shot in on that gate. That's very nicely done. It's a pretty tricky shot to get. Of course, you do have to do it twice in this category, so, you know. So, from this point on out, again, like I said before, we only need to pick up missiles, super missiles, power bombs, energy tanks, and reserve tanks. So none of the major items, and most of the major items are the ones that are really the most out of the way, like spring ball and plasma. So we're going to be pretty consistently just picking up items here at a pretty consistent pace through the rest of it. And since GT code happens at the bottom of the map, we can take a pretty efficient route through the rest of the game. Even in Hundo, like, requires a lot of up and down, back and forth, getting the items that you need to be able to collect everything. But here it's a pretty straight shot, just straight up the map, and then, you know, dipping back down to do the Brinstar stuff towards the end. And I do want to point out that PapaSchmo is currently playing for his tournament life. This is the losers bracket. It's the 6 versus the 16 seed. Thorneto being up 1-0 in this match. So the loser overall of this match will be eliminated from the tournament, unfortunately. And Thorneto's looking in pretty good shape at this point to be able to move on. The next match will be versus Prankard, so that'll be a good one as well. Thorneto having a little bit of trouble with this double chamber. In fact, like I said before, we're not picking up the major items. There's actually kind of a couple cool strats you're going to see here. Like just turning around right there. We're never going to go over to that wave room. Don't need it. They did have the option of actually getting that before the Fantoon fight to make the Fantoon fight a little easier if you wanted to go with a X-Factor strat. And the other interesting one is because we don't actually need Speed Booster, but we need the Speed Missile. Since we're going to be breaking all these blocks by running over them on the way down, optimally what we want to do here is actually charge a Shine and then Shine Spark back up. And requires actually kind of precise positioning. Oh, Thorneto didn't actually charge the shine, unfortunately. So what that spark will do is it'll prevent us from having to open this door and then come back in. So it's one of those like nifty strats that you're really only going to see in this category. This category's got a handful of them. A lot of it is gonna be pretty similar to Hundo, because we're just gonna have all the items you normally would at that point. Like even with like Brinstar and that kind of stuff, that ends up is being done at the end of Hundo. So most of the strats there are just standard, you know, spring ball, screw attack strats. So there is a bunch of places where like you have spring ball and maybe like space jump or something that you wouldn't normally have. So this category does have a couple of oddball strats you can opt to go for. We do have a Susser meme in chat who is going to be the expert on all those. I am not the expert on all those bizarre strats. Do have to apologize to him again for constantly butchering his name. All right, we're going to be dipping down into the croc area here. We get a nice fast croc fight with this plasma. It's going to be one shot. He's going to move all the way off screen. Again, there's going to be grapple is the major item down here. We don't have that. You might think we don't actually have grapple. One of the other interesting things about the GT code is it does give you grapple and X-ray. It just doesn't. The routine to draw them on screen is actually triggered by picking them up, not the GT code. So we do have to actually menu through them still. So it's another thing you have to kind of pay attention to when you're playing this category. You have to remember you actually have grapple and X-ray. I guess Croc stopped before the end there. I'm not sure what happened to cause that. I've never seen Croc that far back onto the platform there. It's kind of interesting. But yeah, I was saying there's another category in this tournament, Nintendo Power, that for some reason makes you get the grapple missile before you get grapple, even though it's kind of intended that you use the grapple to grapple across the rippers at the top of the room to get that missile. And it's kind of nonsensical there. Here, it actually makes sense to pick up that missile before, to use that strat to pick up the missile first, because we just don't need to pick up grapple. So here, this is a actual sensible use of that Nintendo Power tech. You're doing a nice job falling all the way to the bottom there. Meanwhile, PapaSchmo just coming out of his lower Norfair, still gonna have to do this upper Norfair cleanup that Thorneto did. Hopefully, PapaSchmo will be able to get that speed booster strat. It's really nifty to see. This cosine room, one of the places where we have spring ball, we're not supposed to have it. Just using spring ball to hop straight across, saving a little time there as well. Ooh, PapaSchmo charging the shine a little too early, falling through. So unfortunately, no max GT code shine today. Ooh, I think Thorneto missed Cathedral Missile here. Yeah, it's gonna have to backtrack a little bit to pick it up. Yeah, I was saying there's not really a giant like 3 or 4 minute time mistake you can make, but it's pretty easy to miss some of these items and just not think about it. So that's actually a pretty major time loss there to have to go back a whole room and pick those up. Also, forgetting he doesn't need to pick up Ice Beam. See, this is a PSA for why you should have every item be a split, especially for this tournament where you have to keep switching categories. So yeah, as Sasha pointed out in chat, actually going to Croc first is a little bit more inefficient than just coming up through Cathedral here and then going down through Crumble Shafts and then looping back around to grab the Croc Missile at the end. Basically, it avoids this kind of like one-way dip that Thorneto had to do to grab this Crumble Missile. And we're unfortunately just going to miss the high five here. Thorneto heading up the elevator before PapaSchmo gets into Business Center. Of course, PapaSchmo does have to go down, still do all that Croc stuff. Meanwhile, Thorneto is just going to grab the couple items here in Crate Warehouse that we weren't able to get earlier. Maybe this is why PapaSchmo thought he could get the power bomb, thinking like, oh, I can just pick up this missile, I don't have to get it later. But you can't pick up the missiles by rule in this category because you won't actually get to 135. Alright, so Thorneto finishing up this little Crate Warehouse cleanup. Next we'll be heading into Meridia. The Meridia routing ends up getting changed a fair bit compared to Hundo. Because we don't have to pick up Plasma, which is kind of... Plasma or Spring Ball, which kind of like... There's two really long items that's kind of like the linchpin of like the Hundo route. So you're going to end up taking a completely different route through here. Generally, you'll get... Yeah, we're not even going to get Main Street missiles here, because... Oh, wait, no. Thorneto is going to get them here. Optimally, you actually save these for the end, because we'll end our route down here. You'll do the shine up, since we're already halfway through the room. We want to actually leave through the top to go up to Wreck Ship. It kind of saves us up and down in this room here. It's a little bit more efficient to do it the second time through. Or like the third time through, because we have to... the sand pitting routing in this becomes even more annoying. Because we still need all the sand pits, but we don't really have a way of coupling them in with Plasma and Spring Ball like we do in Hundo. Thorneto barely got into that crab super hole there. Does make it though. PapaSchmo missing the mock ball, was unable to do the nifty spring ball strat that we saw earlier. The other thing about like routing this category versus Hundo is a lot of times in Hundo it's like, oh, it might end up being like faster. If you're gonna pass an area like twice, it might be faster to get the second time because like you're gonna pick up an item before you come back around. That'll make it faster. But since we have everything for the entire game, a lot of places it doesn't matter the order you get stuff in. So like there is two routes after the sand pits. You can either come back up and go back through Aqueduct, or you can go down through. You have to do the green gate glitch in coming out of the lower route. So if you want to just avoid that because it's a green gate glitch and can be kind of annoying, you can go up and around the other way through the plasma area. All right, and like I mentioned before, since we do have all the items, we have Plasma, we have Charge, we have X-Ray. We do get to X-Ray both Bot Wound and Dragon in this category, which is pretty nice. So we can see here Thorneto just setting up and switching the X-Ray. Let's see if he can one-cycle it. Looks like he's gonna have to do another shot here. Just trigger that X-Ray while the Plasma was too far into Bot Wound the first time. Thorneto did run right past that Bot Wound E-Tank, but we are coming back this way. Just more efficient to get on the way back. Just run straight through on your first trip through. Just a small little efficiency there. And like with Bot Wound, we'll also get to X-Ray or Microwave Dragon. So Bot Wound and Dragon tend to be two of the bosses that add a lot of variance to your runs because they're pretty easy to mess up, and if you do, they can just add a whole chunk of time. So it's pretty nice in this category where they're really low stress affairs. This is also the last boss of the run, since we killed two of them before the GT code. We already killed Ridley right after So Dragon is the last boss that we need to kill. So from here to Turion, it's pretty much just a collectathon. Alright, Thorneto doing the microwave there by kneeling. What that'll get you is, as soon as Dragon dies, it actually forces Samus into a standing position. So it's a good indicator of when Dragon is actually dead. You don't have to count or anything. You just watch for Samus to get up, and then you know you're done. You can stop X-raying and head out of the fight. So from here, we're gonna get some Meridia cleanup. The Meridia routing is always just kind of a nightmare, mostly because of those sand pits. Oh! Okay, well, that's not good. So, okay, like I was saying before, you kind of had the option of doing 2 different routes after Sandpit. You can either take the lower route, go through the Green Gate glitch, come back up to Aqueduct, or you can go up through Toilet through the Plasma area. I'm not sure what Thorneto normally does, but he's pretty much forced to go up to Plasma now to be able to grab that E-Tank on the other loop around. I'm not sure what the time difference in them is. I'm pretty sure the Green Gate glitch is actually faster to do. But they're pretty close. So it's not a huge time loss, and it might even be Thorneto's normal route. But if it isn't, he just has to make sure he ends up going the right way. Yeah, so Thorneto is going up the toilet here. So just gonna have to go around. So yeah, if this is his normal route, he's missing that Batwoon E-Tank. It really isn't any sort of a time loss, besides just the inefficiency of, you know, kind of jumping, missing it, and falling down. If this isn't his normal route, it's about a 7-second time loss overall. Alright, so time for redemption here for Thorneto. Meanwhile, PapaSchmo coming straight up to Aqueduct, not getting the Aqueduct missiles. A little bit more efficient to get him afterwards. It just requires kind of a tricky short charge, or the actual like Hundo Spring Ball speed keep strat, which is pretty difficult to pull off. But if you're not comfortable with either of those strats, definitely makes sense just to grab them on the way in, like Thorneto did. Alright, so Thorneto going to be doing the second sand pit here. And then, yeah, as he comes out of here, you'll see what I was talking about before with the Main Street strat. Since we're going to be exiting through the top of Main Street after coming through here, it just would have been slightly more efficient to grab them now as opposed to coming into Meridia. And I think that's what... I don't think PapaSchmo got them already, so he'll be getting them later on. Alright, doing our, I believe, second green glitch gate of the run. Gets through without too much difficulty. And yeah, here, we're gonna be going up through this area. So, if you just grab these missiles now, would have been a little bit better. But overall, not a big deal. But we'll be taking this up into Wreck Ship, collecting all the Wreck Ship items, and then sort of finishing like you would, kind of like you would Hundo, where you're doing like the blue Brinstar cleanup, except we're doing all of Brinstar. So you just kind of have to make a complete loop through Brinstar at the end here. Right, and of course we have to grab these Alpha power bomb missiles because we couldn't grab them earlier, no matter how efficient that would have been. We gotta get them now. If you do elect to take the north route, back through Toilet, you kind of have two shots if you want to go for this spring ball strat here, depending on how your splits are, if you don't mind messing them up. It looks like PapaSchmo is just going to go for this shine, though. It was a very nice. It's a pretty tight short charge to get. Like you could saw earlier, Thorneto just opting not to do it at all, just grabbing them Aqueduct missiles as soon as he came into Aqueduct the first time. Alright, so with Fantoon already dead, all you gotta do is collect all the items here. We get to see the spooky missile with the ship on. I think this is the only category that does this, because there is just no other reason to ever do these missiles with the ship on. Fortunately, we do have a full loadout, so as terrible as those missiles are with the ship on, at least we have Screw Attack and Space Jump and Spring Ball and all that stuff, so it's the least worst it could ever possibly be. So without without any of the timers, it's a little hard to tell exactly how far PapaSchmo is. It's not that bad. It's probably like five or 6 minutes, somewhere around there. It's gonna be pretty hard for Thorneto to lose that much time the downstretch here. We're getting to, I don't want to say like the easy part. There's actually a lot of really difficult strats in Brinstar. But those are all like frame savers along those orders. So even if you just kind of casually make your way through Brinstar, it's not the most difficult section. You're not really gonna there's really no risk of death or any large time losses. So Thorneto's still in pretty comfortable shape here. Really, the only thing to worry about is a soft locked on like a mother brain stand up or something like that. And of course, Thorneto just has the option of just not doing that. And despite that we killed everything in the attic before, we still have to kill everything in the attic again. Unfortunately, it's just not faster to open these doors the first time, since we have so much more movement capabilities this second time through. It's just better to kill them again to get to these worker robots. Unfortunately, Thorneto not getting the deboost strat through this. Can be a little difficult depending on how you normally set it up, because you can't spin jump through them like some of the setups do in Hundo, because you have that screw attack. But does deboost through the second one. We'll speed him up a little bit here. And then with screw attack and space jump on the way back here, this getting through attic this final time will be pretty straightforward. And with that, we get to see Bowling Alley 2. Any category of Bowling Alley 2 in it has got to be good, right? Cutscene that's so nice, you get to see it twice. Or I suppose 4 times in this race. There are really not a lot of times you get to see a purple Samus in the the bowling alley. Thorneto making good use of his massive stockpile of missiles here. Get past these worker robots. PapaSchmo heading into his spooky missiles, or not so spooky missiles, I suppose. I mean, if anything, they're more terrifying with the ship on, so. Spiky missiles, there you go. Alright, so Thorneto's gonna be heading into the Brinstar cleanup. You pretty much have the option of which way you want to do this. You can either go clockwise or counterclockwise around it. You see most people do, I'm trying to remember my counterclockwise is now, yeah, counterclockwise through it. With taking this shine out of here, you going through back of Gauntlet and then just going straight down. And then you kind of have like a normal like hundo approach to the rest of the rooms. Thorneto setting up with the plasma shot, gets it very nice. Ironically, it's a lot harder with plasma than it is with Spazer or Wave Beam even. Since you do have Space Jump and Screw Attack, you do have the option of just kind of skipping the shine and just like jumping straight across, and then just Screw Attacking and Space Jumping through the Gauntlet. It's really not all that much slower. And it's way easier. I was talking about, big potential time losses. I guess these Gauntlet missiles was really the most major time loss you would still have. Would have to go around again. Though I suppose it's not that big of a deal here because you have to come back up around anyways. You would just have to go through Gauntlet again. Still would waste probably at least 30 seconds though. But Thorneto having no problem with them. Ooh, Thorneto not actually... it's kind of ironic, you're so used to mockballing through here. You actually have to land pretty far left to actually speed through here. So it has to reset the room. I've been known in randomizers to still just mockball through here even when I have speed, because, yeah, it's surprisingly tricky. I think PapaSchmo just accidentally landed on that platform there and just decided to ride it out. Looked like he considered jumping back off of it, just decided to play it safe. So if you're just joining, the way this category works is because the GT code gives you a set amount of missiles, super missiles, power bombs, and every major item in the game except for Screw Attack. The way we get to 135 is we're basically using that code to give us a bunch of extra pickups. And then we just pick up the minimum amount of items before that, because it gives you a set amount, it doesn't give you a set additional amount. And it just so happens that comes out to 135%. Basically, the GT code gives you 38 items worth of pickups. And we have to pick up 3 to even be able to get there in the first place. So Thorneto making pretty quick work of this Brinstar cleanup section. Pretty nice having full beam here for some of these rooms. And PapaSchmo is just going to be heading into his cleanup phase here shortly. And you're trying to set around this shot here. Does get it. Second try. So Thorneto's getting pretty close to done here. Just has blue Brinstar left now. After blue Brinstar, we'll just head up, and then that'll pretty much be the last of our collections, and we'll be heading into Turian. Yeah, PapaSchmo was showing kind of what I was talking about before, where you just have the option just to kind of screw attack that room there, and it's still pretty quick. PapaSchmo also getting both his gauntlet items, moving to his Brinstar phase. And, you know, remembering to grab these Green Hill missiles. Yeah, this category just puts, because you can't pick up stuff when it would make sense. There's a lot of kind of bizarre one-off collections like that, where there's just really no other time to get it, and it's just kind of an awkward place. So from this room to the end, it's pretty much going to look exactly like Hundo. We have the exact same item loadout we would normally have. We have all the same strats available to us. So this blue Brinstar cleanup is pretty much exactly how you do it in Hundo. Oh, Thorneto grabbing that E-tank now. Usually you see people grab that before they head up. All right, Thorneto grabbing restoring a short charge here. It's actually going to persist to the elevator. The timer doesn't run. We're just going to make use of it. Hopefully straight through this room. Does look like we have a good setup. It just shines straight across. And, oh, well, you can buffer a jump there to jump right down the hole with screw attack. So I believe Thorneto only has 3 items left? Yeah, 3 items left. Well, PapaSchmo still needs to finish his pink and blue Bryn Stars. And once again, the final missile is actually the final missile, but somehow manages to not actually be the final item pickup in this category. It's also not, I guess it's technically not the dental plan missiles here because we have way more than 230 missiles. And there it is. Terminator tank manages to be the last item in the game in this category, which is honestly impressive. So that should be 135% for Thorneto. It's entirely possible he missed something and I didn't notice it. Every item missed will be, I believe, a minute time penalty if he did miss anything. But he's got a pretty sizable lead, so unless we see the full Frozen Cup 91% here, I think Thorneto's in pretty good shape to take the win here, barring any, soft locks on Mother Brain, which is really the only thing stopping him at this point. And yeah, you can see the menu screen is kind of screwed up now with all the E-tanks and reserves we have. You can see that Thorneto actually has 00 energy with full E-tanks because the GT code gives you 800 health. Exactly, for some reason. It gives you credit for 7 E-tanks, but it also sets your health to 800 and sets your max health to 800, so it's kind of weird. It looks like Thorneto also... I assume he was just turning off Vari. He was also turning off Screw Attack. If you leave Screw Attack on, you can't do the normal Zeb skip. We do have a Spring Ball, though. Well, you don't even need it. You can do the Morph and Morph. But, like, you can just go through the first Zeb, and you can either Spring Ball or Morph and Morph through the second one to leave Screw Attack on. It does also mess up your Metroid rooms a little bit, so some runners just prefer to take it off coming into Turian. Alright, looks like Thorneto is going to be setting up for a baby skip. This is probably, well, not even probably, this is the most devastating category to miss baby skip in because the baby drains all your health and you have 21 E-tanks. Alright, sets up nicely. He's into like the main phase of it here. Oh, unfortunately he gets grabbed. Like, this is like one of the like normally when you set up for baby skip, you don't want to spend any energy, but because you just picked up Terminator, you're always going to be exactly full health. Honestly, the smartest thing to do is to start damage boosting down here, because you still need to damage boost down on Mother Brain a lot to get into stand up. So you might as well damage boost before the baby as well. And you still want to get that refill, because I don't think he had full 8 reserve tanks worth. So wouldn't have enough for... He might have had enough just to refill. But even that takes a while to refill up, so... still want your health there to be able to do stand-up. And you can see here the benefits of turning off that screw attack. Just able to do the normal Zeb skip right away. Switching to the supers a little early here. You actually need to have that glass fully broken for Mother Brain to move on to phase 2, and if you switch the supers early, you just end up overkilling her. And plus, there's a lot of lag. And some swaggy deboost off of Mother Brain there. Meanwhile, PapaSchmo is just finishing up his cleanup here, getting his last 3 items. Yeah, in this Mother Brain fight, you're pretty much just kind of face tanking everything. Just because you have so much health and we want to deboost down anyways. It's just best to get off every single shot literally as soon as possible. You can see, like, just how much you have to deboost down. Alright, so Thorneto basically just needs to avoid any sort of weird soft locks here on Mother Brain. We do have X-Ray if we get crouch locked, although we're already past that. So pretty much just avoid overjumping this baby into a soft lock. Or releasing a shot at the wrong time, and, like, I don't know, it's like a 10-minute time loss if that happens. Alright, doing a good job managing the cutscene so far, getting all these onion rings right into the baby. Although, I guess the onion rings don't actually matter in this category, because you have to fill up all of your health. It's like the longest cutscene ever. Makes it a pretty safe cutscene, because you're really not... Yeah, you can see Mother Brain's just automatically dead there. Not even a single hyper beam required. Alright, so Thorneto pretty much has a straight shot to the end here. I'm not sure anyone who's ever speedrun this game in any capacity has ever not beat this timer out, so there's really nothing that could happen at this point. Meanwhile, PapaSchmo is going to be heading into his Metroid rooms. These rooms are really tricky to do, especially with a full loadout, to do them optimally. PapaSchmo doing a very good job through Metroids 3 there. And Thorneto getting onto the ship without our official race time yet. There's no timer on the screen. It's somewhere around 1:32:40, something like that. There we go, with an official race time of 1:32:45. So with that, Thorneto has taken the game, has taken the match, does win it 2-0, winning this match and the previous North Korea match. We'll be moving on, facing the 19 seed prank card in the next round. And PapaSchmo will be eliminated from the tournament. I believe that does make him the first to be eliminated from the tournament. But that's mostly just due to prompt scheduling of these matches. Yeah, and unfortunately we're not having any baby skips today. I'm sure that's just my curse being brought upon them. And we are now joined by Thorneto. GG's to you.
Thank you, thank you. Hello, everyone.
So about that ice beam.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I mean, I went down to Croc by accident instead of doing the usual route, and then I was kind of all flustered, so...
Okay, so you normally do go the other way.
Yeah, I do normally go the other way. I realized after I shot Croc while I was doing the whole waiting game that
Yeah.
I had gone the wrong way.
I'm assuming you don't run every split for this.
No, I did not.
Yeah, it's the strat, especially in this tournament where we have.
Even if I did though, live split froze on me about 10 minutes in, and
yeah, yours I guess froze, and PapaSchmo's I think also froze or something, so I didn't have a timer the entire time.
Yeah, sorry about that.
No, it's all right. It was just usually at least one runner's timer stays up. But yeah, kind of lost both of them, so we're flying blind for half of this. But yeah, it was a pretty nice race overall. How do you feel about it?
Not too bad. I mean, the whole Upper North Air second time was, you know, not my best. But overall, it went pretty well. This is not my favorite category, to be honest. It's not something I run all that often.
I'm right there with you on that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, it's just it's so long. Like, I mean, you said you had to run, like,
oh yeah, it's
just
really
playing this game for an hour and a half. Like, there's just so many places you can possibly make mistakes. So you know, just I mean, really, just I think that was really the only like truly major gaffe you had probably in the whole run. So yeah, over 100 or an hour and 30 minutes. Oh, it looks like, and we're missing 2 items.
I'm missing 2 items. Oh dear.
Yeah. So I
Hmm.
believe that's a 2-minute time loss. I'm not exactly sure. I guess it depends on what you missed.
Okay.
So we'll have to see exactly where PapaSchmo finishes. He's already what 4 minutes already? Or oh no, it's all. Wait, you've done and then undone.
Yeah,
You're-
my live split was all screwed up, so it
oh,
screwed up
okay.
the duns, but I
Okay.
think around 132 something.
Okay. Yeah. So it's already a 4 minute. So I mean, we'll see what the admins. We'll have to see what the admins end up saying.
Does anyone have any idea what I might have missed?
I have no idea. There's nothing that seemed obvious. Like you went and got the cathedral missile. I have no idea. You got both sand pits, so it's nothing like that. Like missing a sand pit, I could see. Like
No, I got GT supers for sure. Hmm. Oh, Tilly's got it. Yeah. Tilly got it.
what was it?
High jump boots. I didn't go back in
Oh, the high
second
jump boots and
time.
the EMS. Yeah.
Again, because I was all screwed up from the
Yeah,
going the wrong way.
I saw Papa Schmo get that, and yeah, I was just like, oh, I must have just
Yeah.
missed you getting those. Yeah, it's one of those ones that's hard.
Yeah, because I
Yeah.
was all turned around in that section, and then.
Well,
Damn.
those certainly aren't like giant items, so especially them being right next to each other, I assume it's just gonna be a 2-minute penalty, which should still give you the win here.
Fair enough. Yeah, oh damn. That's my bad.
Yeah, and it's usually missing an E-tank something you're never gonna do because there's a giant hole, but because you have 21 here, it's already filled in.
Yeah.
You still don't even notice it. It looks like Papa Schmo is going to be finishing up here shortly as well. Going to be finishing somewhere around a 138. It looks like. Yeah, it looks like he got done with a 138.52. Okay, well, assuming it's just the 2-minute time penalty, you will be facing Prankard next. Do you have any thoughts on that matchup?
Not really. I'm not super familiar with Prankard, to be honest. I don't think I've ever raced them or anything, so should be interesting. Yeah.
Yeah, and
hopefully I can run Nintendo Power. That's my favorite category. One of my favorite categories. So hopefully I'll get to run that.
yeah. Yeah, I just realized you were the one that ended up picking GT Max, and you said it wasn't one of your favorites. So why did you
Yeah.
end up picking it? I guess.
Basically, the main reason is if something went wrong and I lost this race, I didn't want GT Max to be the tiebreaker. I didn't want the stress there. So
Yeah,
I
I guess.
figured I'd get my worst category out of the way first.
I suppose that's fair because once both of the bands are in, the last two races are fixed. Um, so get the high stress one out of the way first, so you don't have to deal with it when everything's on the line. But we are also joined by Papa Schmo. GG's to you as well.
Thank you, I appreciate it. How's everybody doing?
Good. I think our main question for you is was that early power bomb, which confused the hell out of me. Did you just?
Are we talking about alpha PBs? Which
Yeah,
one
you
is
got
it?
alpha PBs early, and I wasn't sure why.
I didn't know that it was early. I just decided to. I don't know. I guess that's just how I've run. I haven't run this category too many times, so
Oh, okay.
it may just be a beginner's route or just a mishap on my part. But I don't know. I just figured I'd go get it, and and then whatever. But I guess it makes sense to get it later because I'm going up to Pantone anyway. So yeah, there you go. That's
Yeah,
that's a lot of time save right there.
yeah, yeah. I mean, it gets you. You can do the. I don't. Well, the power bomb. The only two things I can think of it gets you is you can use it in the crate hallway. Like there's the power bomb strat, but like generally you have enough supers in that room anyway, so it doesn't really save anything. And then like it's slightly faster through Bubble Mountain, but yeah, he doesn't. Well, I was thinking you might have been going for the high jump, the gravity-less strat, just going for the high jump, because that's the only time you actually need to get those power bombs if you go straight down.
Yeah.
So I was a little hyped because I thought maybe you've been practicing that because that's that's a big 8-minute time save.
Yeah, sorry
Uh,
to disappoint. I have tried that a couple times, and I do intend on trying to at least get it at least once at some point. But no, unfortunately not. It's just because I haven't run this category a whole lot. So I'm glad that I didn't die, as you probably were at many a points waiting for me to die with my tiny bit of energy. But yeah.
Yeah, both of you actually gave us kind of a heart attack in the lava dive. Thorneto, you got all the way to the top, and I think you just missed the wall jump and kind of slipped off, and you were able to turn gravity suit back on with like 6 health left.
Yeah, thankfully that was a close one.
Yeah, and then yeah, PapaSchmo, like you got to the bottom with like 26 health, and you paused, and I'm like, please don't go for this
Yeah.
because it's not. I was really hoping you weren't going to turn. I'm not
Yeah,
sure if you saved Papa. I know Thorneto, you didn't save before the lava dive at all.
Not before, no.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
saved before Frog Speedway, just
Oh,
in
okay.
case.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was like, wait, what am I doing? This is not gonna work. I was about to do the gravity jump with 26 health. Yeah, no.
Yeah. You paused for a good long time, and I assume I don't know if you had like a reference a reference sheet up or something.
No, I was just telling myself I was dumb in my head.
Okay. Yeah.
So
I was hoping you took that time. Yeah. Do have the confirmation that you have 135%. We did have MGA confirm as well that it's going to be 1 minute penalty for both. So that means officially Thorneto is going to have a 134 in this, 134.45, I think. So it's still good enough to take the win. Unfortunately, that means PapaSchmo, you are going to be eliminated from the tournament. It was great having you. Do you have any final thoughts before leaving?
I don't no, I don't have any final thoughts. Well, no, that's definitely not true. Sorry, I was looking at the time because you said 134, and I thought it doesn't make me win at all, though it really doesn't make a
Yeah,
difference.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Thorneto's we'll officially have a 134.45 for this race for the 2 missed items.
Oh, okay, I thought it was 137.30.
Well, no, because I finished 132.45 and then accidentally undone.
Oh, that was an accident. Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. The first time is correct. The second time is a a lot of problems happening right now. But yeah, it's a 134.45.
Yeah,
my
my
race.
live split froze on me during the race and then wouldn't let me
Yeah.
done at the end.
You guys probably saw my timer mess up, but yeah, I
Yeah,
went
we
to
had
reset and I was like, oh, I guess I have that selected on my auto split,
Oh,
so
I've
it
done that
just
a lot of
took my
times.
timer
Yeah.
out.
I've
yeah,
done
I
that
had
lots.
both of your timers went away, so I had no timer for the entire race. So I was like,
Oh, that's
I have no
fun.
idea what's going on.
All right. Yeah, no, final things, obviously shout outs to everybody who made this thing happen. I had a blast learning all these categories that I'd never learned before. Obviously, there's some challenge to some of these categories, but for anybody else who's like wanting to do the next one or something, or just watching these things, being like, man, it would be cool to do this stuff. Like, just jump in, man. I didn't know any of this stuff. A lot of these runners didn't know any of this stuff, and it really is just jumping in and giving it a shot. And it's been an absolute blast for me. Regardless of winning or losing, it's just been super fun. So thank you all. Thank you to you know what? I don't even know if it's Thorneto or Thorneto, and I should. Can you please correct me, sir?
It's both and it's neither.
All right, I like it. I'm gonna go with Thorneto then. Thank you for the races and the GGs. Thank you everybody for watching and Speed Gaming for hosting. Adios.
Yeah, thanks, Papa. GG's. Thanks for doing the tough categories. That was fun.
Yeah, those were really the funnest for sure.
Yeah. All right. Well, yeah. Thanks everyone. Thanks Duck, and yeah. See y'all next time.
Yeah, I think that's pretty much all has to be said. There's no more races today. There will be, it looks like a couple tomorrow. It looks like, or just the one tomorrow. Bressingham versus Glove at 3 p.m. on Speed Gaming 2. So if you want to see more of this multi-category action, stop by for that. That is going to wrap it up for us today. So have a good rest of your nights, everyone.